Physiology of the immune system refers to the way the body protects itself from infection, disease, and other threats through a highly organized defense system. The immune system is composed of several components that work together to detect and destroy pathogens, such as bacteria, viruses, and fungi, as well as damaged or abnormal cells. The system is divided into two main components, the innate immune system and the adaptive immune system. 1. Innate immunity. The innate immune system is the body's first line of defense against infection and is nonspecific, meaning that its immune response does not distinguish between the types of pathogens that invade. This system's response is rapid but does not have a specific memory of the pathogens it has encountered. Main components of the innate immune system. 1. Physical and chemical barriers. A skin is the primary physical barrier that protects the body from penetration by pathogens. B. Mucosa, the lining of the respiratory, digestive, and urinary tracts, which also protects the body by producing mucus that traps pathogens. C. Tears and saliva, contains the enzyme lysozyme which can destroy bacterial cell walls. D. Gastric acid, kills most pathogens that enter the stomach. 2. Innate immune cells, phagocytes, cells such as neutrophils and macrophages that capture and ingest, phagocytose, pathogens, dead cells, or other foreign particles. B. Natural killer, NK, cells. These cells kill virus-infected cells and cancer cells by destroying the membranes of infected cells. C. Dendritic, cells that play a role in recognizing pathogens and presenting pathogen fragments to the adaptive immune system to initiate a more specific immune response. 3. Inflammation. Inflammation occurs in response to injury or infection and is characterized by swelling, redness, heat, and pain. This process helps direct immune cells to the site of infection and speeds up tissue recovery. 4. Complement system. The complement system is a series of proteins in the blood that help in the destruction of pathogens by making holes in the cell membranes of pathogens or by facilitating phagocytosis. 2. Adaptive immune system, acquired immunity. The adaptive immune system works more slowly than the innate immune system, but is more specific and has immunological memory, which allows the body to remember pathogens that have been attacked and provide a faster response if the same pathogen enters the body in the future. Main components of the adaptive immune system. 1. T lymphocytes, which can be divided into helper T lymphocytes, CD4+, namely. These lymphocytes coordinate the entire immune response by stimulating B lymphocytes to produce antibodies and helping activate cytotoxic T cells. They also help in initiating inflammation and activating macrophages. B. Cytotoxic T lymphocytes, CD8+, namely. These cells directly kill cells infected with viruses or cancer cells by destroying the membranes of infected cells. C. Regulatory T lymphocytes, namely. These cells play a role in regulating and controlling the immune response to prevent autoimmune reactions, where the immune system attacks the body's own cells. 2. B lymphocytes, which consist of A. Antibodies, immunoglobulins, namely, B lymphocytes produce antibodies that bind pathogens or toxins, inhibit their function, and help direct other immune cells to destroy the pathogen. B. Memory B cells, namely, after the first infection, some B lymphocytes turn into memory cells that can recognize the same pathogen if the body is infected again in the future. 3. Antigens. Antigens are molecules that are recognized by the immune system as foreign or dangerous. Usually, antigens are found on the surface of pathogens such as bacteria, viruses, or infected cells. MHC, major histocompatibility complex, is a molecule that helps in antigen recognition. Antigens recognized by T lymphocytes are presented by MHC on the cell surface. B. Adaptive immune response process. 1. Antigen recognition, namely, antigens originating from pathogens or infected cells are recognized by immune cells, such as dendritic cells, and presented to T and B lymphocytes. 2. Activation of T and B lymphocytes, namely, helper T lymphocytes will stimulate B lymphocytes to produce antibodies specific to the antigen. Cytotoxic T lymphocytes will recognize infected cells and destroy them. 3. Antibody production and memory cell formation. Antibodies produced by B lymphocytes can bind antigens on pathogens or infected cells, block their function, and facilitate the destruction of pathogens through phagocytosis or activation of the complement system. Some B and T lymphocytes will turn into memory cells that allow the body to provide a faster and stronger immune response if the same pathogen re-enters the body. 3. Types of adaptive immunity. 1. Active immunity, namely, this immunity is formed when the body produces antibodies or memory cells after being exposed to a pathogen or after vaccination. Active immunity usually lasts a long time and provides long-term protection. 2. Passive immunity, namely, immunity obtained by receiving antibodies from outside the body. For example, through the administration of monoclonal antibodies or through breast milk, which contains maternal antibodies. Passive immunity is temporary because antibodies will disappear over time. 4. Immune tolerance and autoimmunity. Immune tolerance is the ability of the immune system to distinguish between the body's own molecules and foreign substances. When the immune system fails to recognize the body's own cells and attacks them, The condition is called autoimmunity, e.g., lupus or rheumatoid arthritis. The immune system must be able to correctly recognize pathogens and not respond to the body's own molecules to prevent autoimmune disease. 5. The role of microbiota in the immune system. Microbiota are normal flora of the body, especially those found in the intestines, play a role in regulating the immune response. These microbiota can help prevent infection by preventing pathogens from multiplying, as well as stimulating the immune system to maintain a healthy balance. 6. Factors affecting immune system function. 1. Age factor, namely, the immune system weakens with age, which can increase its susceptibility to infection. 2. Nutritional factor, namely, adequate nutrition, especially vitamins and minerals, is important for optimal immune function. 3. Stress factor, namely, chronic stress can weaken the immune system, increasing the risk of disease. 4. Disease factor, namely, several medical conditions such as HIV, AIDS can damage the function of the immune system. 5. Sleep and physical activity factor, namely, adequate sleep and regular physical activity can strengthen the immune system. 7. Conclusion. The immune system is a complex body defense network that involves various components and mechanisms to protect the body from pathogens. With two main lines of defense, innate and adaptive, the body can recognize, attack, and remember harmful pathogens. Effective immune function requires a good balance and coordination between the various cellular components, proteins, and molecules in the body.